Okay, the page before this. Yes. Okay, let's join our hands and let's recite together. Namo Arihantanam,
Namo
Namo Siddhanam, Namo Ayaryanam, Namo Ubajayanam, Namo Loe Sabbasahunam. Let's try to get the pronunciation correct. Namo Arihantanam, Namo Siddhanam, Namo Ayaryanam, Namo Ubajayanam, Namo Loe Sabbasahunam. Now, next page. Eso panchanamo yaro sabba pavapanasano mangalanancha sabbesin padamam hoi mangalam. Eso panchanamo yaro sabba pavapanasano mangalanancha sabbesin padamam hoi mangalam. So as we can see, normally on YouTube we hear Padamam Havai Mangalam, but the real pronunciation is Hoi Mangalam, because it makes a big difference if we say it in the right way or in the wrong way. And it is always important to understand that we need to say it in the correct way. One more important point is that it is not Navkar mantra. It is Namokar mantra, because this is the original name. The original name is not Navkar, but the original name is Namokar mantra. So who can name the Panch Parmeshti that we have said in this? Please go back to page 3. Yes. So we look. It is.
Alicia, you're on mute. Alicia, you're on mute.
Can you name Panch Parmeshti?
Yes. It out.
Okay.
Arihanta,
Seed, yes. You can look.
Acharya, Upadhyaya, and Sadhu.
Good. Arihan, Sid, Acharya, Upadhyaya, and Sadhu. So we are saluting all five Panch Parmeshti of this world, not just of this earth, what we know as earth, but what we call in Jain universe our entire lok. That means even Simandar Swami, who does not live on earth, but he lives somewhere far away in a place called Videhi Kshetra. So we are even sending our salutations to Simandar Bhagwan, who is the living Tirthankar. He's the living Tirthankar. Yeah. He's a living Arihant Bhagwan. So it is written over here, we salute to all the Arihants of the world, all the Siddhs of the world, Acharyas of the world, Upadhyayas of the world, and Sadhus of the world. Who is an Arihant Bhagwan?
Diana, do you know who is Arihant Bhagwan?
I just said one name.
Diana, do you know who's Arihant Bhagwan? Like, what is Arihant Bhagwan?
No, just name one. I just gave a name. Simandar Bhagwan.
So Simandar Bhagwan is Arihant Bhagwan?
Yes, Simandar Bhagwan is Arihant Bhagwan. He is a living God. And who doesn't live on earth, but he lives somewhere far away in a place called Videhi Kshetra.
I'll write his name down. Simandar. You say Simandar Bhagwan. Simandar Bhagwan. Diana, stop it, please.
I want to be seen.
It's okay, honey. Stop it. So Simandar Bhagwan is the current living Bhagwan. She said, do you understand that?
Mm-hmm.
Simandar Bhagwan is a living Arihant. And she said he lives in Videhi Kshetra. Videhi Kshetra.
He lives in Videhi Kshetra.
No, stop it. Videhi Kshetra, Shetra. It's like a different world, I guess, okay? Videhi Kshetra.
Okay, now let's move on to the next page. What is written over here? This Panche Namaskar mantra destroys all sins and is the first benediction of all benedictions. This mantra destroys delusion, attachment, aversion, and leads to right knowledge. So what does that mean? That we stop believing that we are a body anymore, because at the moment we are living in delusion that I am a body. My name is Komal. I go to school, I go to work, I live in a house. So when we worship Pancha Parmeshti Bhagwan, naturally by looking at them, we want to be like them. And who are they? They have destroyed delusion, attachment, and aversion. What we say in Indian language is rag, which is attachment, and aversion, which is dvesh.
Rag, dvesh,
Rag is attachment,
attachment.
and aversion is called dvesh.
Wish.
Not wish, dvesh.
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 D-W-E-S-H.
Okay, yeah, dvesh. See that?
Wish.
D-W-E-S-H, dvesh.
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 Okay.
And that leads to right knowledge, which is Samyak Darshan, Samyak Gyan, Samyak Charitra. It is written here, right knowledge, which means Samyak Gyan, but obviously we have to first let go of the delusion and attain right faith. And hence we always say Samyak Darshan first. And then we say
This is
Samyak
Samyak.
Gyan and Samyak Charitra. Okay, so this is something, you have 5 questions over here that you can do it as your homework. And let's move on to the next
That's your
page.
homework. Got it? Yes.
All the answers are just on top, so you do not have to look anywhere else.
So be nice if you can answer this eventually as your homework. Okay? Got it?
So now let's move on to the next page. Okay, so now there are 4 mangals. Chattari mangalam, arihanta mangalam, chitta mangalam, tahu mangalam,
Kevali
panato dhammo mangalam, chattari loguttama,
Arihanta Lokuttama, Siddha Lokuttama, Sahu Lokuttama, Kevali Panato Dhammo Lokuttamo.
Well done. Let's say it again. Chattari mangalam,
Chattari. Say it again.
Chattari Mangalam, Arihanta Mangalam, Siddha Mangalam, Sahu Mangalam, Kevali Panato Dhammo Mangalam, Chattari Lokuttama, Arihanta Lokuttama, Siddha Lokuttama, Sahu Lokuttama, Kevali Panato Dhammo Lokuttamo. Get it? It's O at the end. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, now next page. Next, Chattari Sharanam. It's not Sarnam, how they're written in English.
Sharanam.
In English,
Sharanam.
Chattari Sharanam.
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 Chattari
Chattari Sharanam Pavajami.
Jami. Chattari Sharanam Pavajami. Arhante Sharanam Pavajami. Siddhe Sharanam Pavajami. Sahu Sharanam Pavajami. Kevali Panatam Dhammam. No, Dhammam. Panatam Dhammam. Kevali Panatam Dhammam Sharanam Pavajami.
Let's say it again. Okay, you missed on the, okay, let's say it again. Chattari
Let's say-
Loguttama from the top.
So remember the prayers? Chattari Loguttama, Arihanta Loguttama, Siddha Loguttama, Sahu Loguttama. I think, yeah, Loguttama. I get confused with Loguttama.
Kevali
To Dhammo Loguttamo. Chattari Sharanam Pavajami. Arihante Sharanam Pavajami. Siddhe Sharanam Pavajami. Sahu Sharanam Pavajami. Kevali Panatam Dhammam. No. Kevali Panatam Dhammam Sharanam Pavajami.
Well done. So these are the 4 benefactors of the world: the Arihant, Sikh, Sadhu. Sadhu is divided into 3. Remember, we have learned this before. There are 3 kinds of sadhus. The first kind of sadhu is Acharya, Upadhyay, and Sadhu. How do we remember the 3? An Acharya is like your principal of your school on the highest rank. On the highest rank. Then, then comes Upadhyay. Upadhyay is like your wise principal of the school. And Sadhu is like a teacher in the school. So there are 3 ranks. The first rank is the principal. The second rank is the vice principal. And the third one is one of a teacher. So who is the principal?
Who's the principal? So like among these 3, who will be on the top? Who's the principal? Is it Acharya, Upadhyay, or Sadhu?
Acharya.
Acharya.
And who is the vice principal?
Like under
Upadhyay.
Upadhyay.
Upadhyay. Upadhyay.
Upadhyay. Dhyay. Yes. Stop.
And who is Sadhu?
Sadhu is the
Teacher.
teacher. So
Yeah,
this
like a teacher, like in school, when we want to compare the 3, this is how we can remember them. So now let's remember the 5 names. Arihant,
so remember the Panch Parameshti, 5 names, like the one we always pray to?
Yeah.
So who's the first one?
Arihant,
Sid, Acharya, Upadhyay, Sadhu.
well done. So good, you have a good memory. So now who is a benefactor? One that removes sins, delusion, attachment, and aversion. Let's try to remember the names. Let's try to remember the name for attachment.
Attachment.
What is attachment? Oh, she is Rag.
Rag.
Rag means attachment.
And,
Rag.
Rag.
and what is aversion?
Dvesh.
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 And what is delusion? Something that we have not yet learned. Mithyatva.
What's a new word? Wait.
That's a new word.
Mithyatva. No. Me. Like me. Thya. Tva. Mithyatva. I can write it down in English for you here. Me.
M-I-T-H.
Yeah. M-I-T-H.
Y-A.
Yeah. Yes. What? V-A. Mithyatva. Mithyatva is what?
Delusion.
Delusion. Okay.
And so let's go back to where we
Like a
were.
wrongdoing. Get it?
Benefactor is that which removes sins, attachment, and aversion and brings real happiness. The
Diana, sit over here.
5 Parmeshtis are themselves embodiment of benefaction, and devotion to them brings supreme happiness. So if we start to worship Panch Parmeshti, if we start to worship them, we will one day become like them. Because they are living in supreme happiness. And if we start to behave like them, if we start to do things like them, if we start to understand the soul like them, one day also we will become just like them and experience supreme happiness.
Like what God is experiencing.
Yeah.
We can be just like God.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so now I have a question for you. Why is it saying over here that we will experience supreme happiness? Aren't we happy at the moment? Are we happy at the moment?
I feel like super, super happy with like no doubts or nothing in your heart. Are you super happy?
Not like the happiest you can get.
Not the happiest. No.
No.
No. What about you?
Happy. You can't go as happy as you can get.
But
You're not-
but you have a nice house, you have a nice family, you have a good school, you have nice friends, you've got nice toys. Aren't you happy?
Yeah, I am, but I can't. I could get happier and happier and happier and so on.
So like, what is your favorite ice cream? Which flavor?
I can't choose. It's just too hard.
Tell me one. Tell me.
I don't know.
Just pick one.
I don't know.
Salted
caramel.
Well, she likes salted caramel. I know what you like. Banana.
I like other flavors. Like
Okay, fine. Let's just
Fine.
take banana ice cream. Can you eat
Banana.
maybe one cup of banana ice cream? Okay, not one. Let's give you two.
Can you eat 2 cups of banana ice cream?
I want 1 cup of banana and 1 cup of chocolate.
That's fine, but we're just thinking about banana. It's an example.
Okay.
Can you eat 2 cups of banana ice cream? Yes or
Yes,
no?
I can.
Of course, yes.
Okay, can you eat 4?
Can you eat 4 cups?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
Can you eat 8 cups? Can you eat 8 cups of banana ice cream?
What about 8? I don't know. I don't think. What do you think? Can we eat 8 cups?
No, you'll get fat.
Yeah, but you really think you can consume 8 cups? Forget about being fat. You think you can consume 8 cups? No, you can't. It's a lot of food. Your tummy will hurt.
Yeah, you see, you cannot eat 8 cups, no matter how much you like banana ice cream, because eventually it gets boring. It gets too much. It gets to the point where you might grow fat, or it might make you sick. So no matter how much ice cream you might like, or no matter how much jewelry you might like, or maybe swimming, or maybe playing with friends, whatever that you might like, eventually you think that, oh, now I want to stop, and maybe I want to do something else. That something
Right.
else might be
That makes
going
sense.
to sleep. That something else might be that you want to just relax, or maybe you just want to watch TV. But you cannot do one thing for 24 hours a day. For example, you cannot eat banana ice cream for 24 hours a day.
No.
Or watch TV 24
Or even watch TV.
That'd be
Exactly.
cool.
But you know what? Arihant and Siddh Bhagwan are immersed in their soul 24 hours in a day, 365 days in a year. And that's too for like millions and millions and millions of years. So there is supreme happiness in the soul. It is not like eating ice cream, or it is not like playing with your friends. That maybe after 1 hour or 2 hours that you get bored of it.
So much, buddy.
I'm not bored of that something after 1.
No, what she's trying to say, it's not, no, but eventually you'll be like, okay, I'm done with this. I want to do something else. She's talking about that joy that you feel when you're doing that activity, like eating an ice cream. So when you're eating, you feel that happiness, but guess what? It's done right after some time. It's over. Imagine for lunch, dinner, all the time you're eating ice cream. Can you do that? You can't. Or even watching TV. So it's that happiness.
Can I sleep for 24 hours?
You still can. Your body will be awake. You can't sleep. So what she's trying to talk about, that happiness that you feel when you're doing that activity. So eventually you're done with it. What she's trying to say is God feels that by thinking about its soul or staying within himself. Iyan jo, samajh padi? And he feels that happiness, imagine, non-stop, all day long,
Non-stop.
forever and ever. Do you
Like
get it?
that is what's called supreme happiness, the highest happiness, where you don't get bored of anything, where you're not tired of it, because you can't sleep more than 7 hours, 8 hours. After that, also, like, your body will say, now I don't want to be in bed. Now I want to stand up, and I want to maybe do other things.
Move, exactly.
Right.
So samajh padi is the supreme happiness. That's the word. What's the word?
Supreme
Happiness.
And
Okay.
infinite happiness.
And infinite, like infinite, right? The math word. Yeah. Okay.
One which is never ending happiness, and never ending boredom. Because generally with things, we start to get bored after a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So get it?
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on to the next page. Okay. So now I'm going to just ask you to read this, because it is pretty simple. You just have to read it, and you only have to answer these 5 questions. So your total homework is only 10 questions, not more than that, because most of it is very simple, and you'll get all the answers from the 2 pages. Now let's move on to the other book.
Oh, now we can see us. Oh, it's her, I think.
Let's
Oh,
move
there
on
we
to
go.
the
Now we can see us. I think we should move it down. There we go, so we can see everybody. There we go. I don't know if you can see everybody.
Now you can see yourself.
That's all right. Oh, it's a different book. You see that?
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go to the first question. What is this book called? A short reader to Jain doctrines. It is a translation of Lagu Jain Siddhant Praveshika. And who is it by? It is translated by Brahmachari Hemchand Jain, who generally lives in Devlali, but is originally from Bhopal.
He translated the book. Look over here. Do you see the translator? It says,
Yeah.
and that's the book of the name Lagu Jain Siddhant Praveshika. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let's move on to the first question. What is, who wants to read it? What
You
is
want to read?
cosmos? What is our universe? What
Cosmos
is our universe made out of? Okay, you can just put yourself on mute for a few minutes and then I will ask you questions. So what is our universe made out of? Our universe is made out of 6 substances that we had learned last week. The 6 substances we had learned last week were Jeev, Pudgal, Dharmastikai, Adharmastikai, Akash, and Kal. So the 6 substances are Jeev, Pudgal, Dharmastikai, Adharmastikai, Akash, and Kal. So the universe is made out of 6 substances. The type of substances are only 6, but in number there are numerous. Some are numerous, some are innumerous, and some are infinite. So for Jeev and Pudgal, both are infinite. Both are infinite. What is a substance? Now, what is substance called in Indian language or in Sanskrit? It is called dravya. It is called dravya. What is substance? Because remember that there are 6 substances in the universe. There are 6 substances in the universe. What is substance? The mass of infinite, inseparable attributes. Let's use an easier word. Instead of attributes, maybe qualities. Gun. What like we call in Indian language, we say gun is called substance. And look, it is also written there in like Hindi on the side. What is substance? The mass of infinite, inseparable attributes or qualities, just to make it a bit simple, is called substance. So who can name the 6 substances? I think Fiona can. Fiona, please name the 6 substances. You can unmute yourself.
Do you know the 6 substance that we learned?
Let's start. Jeev.
Jeev. What's the opposite of Jeev? Like, remember, that's how we remember. No, not Akash yet. Then we go in order. Jeev, Pudgal,
Dharmastikai,
yeah.
Akash,
And the last one?
Kal.
Well done. Very good.
Yeah.
Okay, so the mass of infinite inseparable attributes is called substance, meaning that we cannot remove any of the qualities from any substance, be it Jeev, Pudgal, Dharmastikai, Akash, or Kal. It is always constant. It is always constant in its infinite attributes. And it's look, it is written infinite, inseparable. You can never remove anyone ever. Maybe not in this life or like in the next life, or maybe even after infinite lives, you will not be able to remove it, because this is how naturally it is created. It has been created. So who created this universe? Vishal, who created this universe?
Who created universe?
No one.
No one?
It was never created.
Oh, it never created.
It was never created. Why wasn't it ever? I mean, I think like a God created it. There was somebody called God who created it.
No. God didn't create it because God doesn't do anything.
Why doesn't God do anything?
Because he's in his soul state, so he doesn't have any, arms or magic powers or whatever.
He has magic power, but he doesn't use it.
But he doesn't use his magic power. And he doesn't have any arms to
No, but you remember what she says about what she's trying to say is infinite, inseparable attributes of Dravya. So they're always there.
Yeah.
So he didn't make it, but why he didn't make it? Because they're always
there.
They're always there.
But what if somebody gave God some material? I mean, he could have made this universe, right? He could have made G, he could have made Pudgal, he could have made Dharmastikaya, Akash, and Kal. He could have made it, right?
You can't even make it.
Because it's always
there.
It's always there.
And a very important point is that God is not a doer, he's a knower. He can only know things. He cannot do things.
Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Yes.
He knows how to play piano.
He knows it all, but he doesn't do anything for you or anybody. We might know it all. Okay?
He knows how to create money.
Yes, he might, but he won't do it for you.
He knows how to make money with his hands.
Okay, let's continue. Money.
Okay. Yeah, you have a point. He knows how money is made, or he might know how money can be used, but that doesn't mean he makes money. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now you can put yourself again on mute.
Okay.
Mute.
The mass of infinite inseparable attributes is called substance. So, and then the next question, what is gun? What is an attribute? That quality which exists in all the parts. Look, it is very important in all the parts. Special units called pradesh of the substance and its modifications is called attribute. Okay, so this is slightly difficult what they've written. You can just first listen. So for example, that this is a substance. Now you can see this phone is peach in color. You can see that the peachness of the phone is not only in this part. The peachness of the phone is here, it is here, it is here, it is everywhere. Look, the peachness of the phone is everywhere. So it is saying that each and every single gun, how many gun are there? There are infinite attributes, there are infinite qualities. So one of the quality is that we already know of happiness, and the second one is knowledge. So what is attribute? That quality which exists in all parts. In all parts. Now the peachness of the phone cover is not only in one area. It is in all parts of the phone. It is in all parts of the phone. So this is what it is trying to say. Let me just bring something and I will show it to you what I'm trying to say. Can you see this jar? Maybe like maybe you can make me in like full screen so that you can see this jar. Are you able to see me?
It's not full screen, but we can see you.
Okay, good, fine. Fine. So can you see this jar? Now look at these pebbles in the jar. All these pebbles in the jar, they are one by one.
Oh.
Go on.
Oh, there we go. There, you're here back. Sorry, you're here.
Okay. So as you can see in this jar, that there are so many pebbles. There are so many pebbles in this jar. But there's one, then you can remove another one, and then you can remove the third one, and then maybe you remove the fourth one. Can you see this jar over here?
Yeah. Can you see that jar?
Yeah.
Yes.
As you can see that, one pebble is in one space. But here, but in like a substance, it is not like this. It is not like this.
It's more like this.
Yeah. You can just make yourself unmute for just a minute and then I will ask you questions. It is like this. As you can see that the peach color is throughout the phone. So, and each quality or each attribute is not one by one, like, you know, one. What it is trying to say is that every quality is in every single part. Is that making any sense? Is that making sense? Now you can unmute yourself in case if you have questions.
So do you understand what she means by it's everywhere?
Yeah.
The quality. Like the sugar, is the sugar sweet in just one part, or is the whole sugar, is the sweetness is everywhere, or just like where you bit? The sweetness is everywhere. That means the quality of the sugar, which is being sweet, it's everywhere. So do you understand? It could be anything. But do you understand what she's trying to tell
Like
you?
the entire TV screen is just black.
Yeah, so it's everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, or my hand is only 10.
That does not make sense. That does not make sense.
Okay, fine. So basically what this is trying to say that every quality, now how many qualities are there? There are infinite qualities, and we can see that one of the qualities of this cover is color peach. That is just one quality. So the
That is-
peach color is everywhere. But
Yes.
like this, there are infinite qualities which are going to be everywhere. For example, in the soul. So if there's happiness, for example, if this is the soul, the happiness will not just be in this area. The happiness will be throughout this whole hand, which we are describing as the soul. So the happiness will not be in this point, or in this point, or in this point, or in this point, but it will be everywhere. It will be everywhere over here. Did that make sense? Can you
Yes.
explain? Can you explain?
Do you want to give her an example of how the quality of a substance, or the quality is everywhere, not just at one part of that substance? Like one example that I give you. Do you know an example? Can you give her an example?
can.
You can? We take turns. Who wants to go first?
Bria.
We want to go first? Think.
In a,
Come close first, in front of her.
in
Okay.
a sugar cube, you don't
Look
take,
at her, not mommy.
in a sugar cube, you take only one part of sugar. No, yes.
You taste what? What do you taste in sugar? What is it?
Sugar.
Sweetness
Sweetness.
or sourness?
Sweetness.
Sweetness. So the sweetness is what?
Is the sweetness everywhere or only in one part? Only in one part.
So do you understand? It's
Good understanding.
My turn.
Okay,
My turn.
your turn, Fiona, and then we take one step further.
Can Fiona go?
Yeah.
Okay.
The sun isn't hot in just one spot. The sun is hot everywhere.
Very good understanding that it is not just hot, that the sun is not just hot in like one area. It is hot everywhere. Now, good, you have given a very good example of the sun. Now, what else does the sun have? The sun has sun rays, right? The sun has got sun rays. So
Yes.
where
Yes.
are the rays? Where are the rays coming from?
Where are the
The
rays coming from?
sunlight.
Well done. You're so smart. Well done. That the sun is coming, the rays are coming from the sun. That the rays are coming from the sun. Now those rays is called pariyai. The next question. So you have already understood.
Oh, here, pariyai.
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 You.
So
Traun pariyai. P-A-R-Y-A-Y.
it is the manifestation, meaning to say that manifestation means that, for example, like your t-shirt might be blue in color. Color is the quality. Color is the quality, and every single time it changes, maybe from dark blue, maybe like when you bought it, to maybe after 2 years it becomes slightly light blue. So
Right.
that is the modification that happened. That is the modification that happened, like in the 2 years. That when you bought that t-shirt, maybe it was a bit darker in blue. And then after 2 years, because you washed it so many times, you wore it so many times, it then starts to fade. Or another example can be that, yeah, that maybe you were, yeah, maybe another example can be age, for instance. Age is a quality. One day you were 5 years old, and then after 5 years you were 10 years old. But age is constant, but something changed. Something changed from five. Maybe you became 6 years old, then 7 years old, then eight, then nine, and then 10. So that is a modification that happened. That is the modification that happened. Is that making sense? Is that easy? I think it's so easy to understand.
Yes, and I have example. I have an example.
Yes, give me an example.
First, an egg, then a caterpillar hatches, and then the caterpillar gets bigger and bigger, and then it turns into a cocoon, then it turns into a butterfly, and then it dies and disintegrates. And
No, but what is it? What, so Parya is what? What happened to the egg and
So like
the egg
it's the
turns into a
change.
caterpillar.
It's the change.
The caterpillar turns into a cocoon, and the butterfly, and the butterfly.
Okay, Fiona, now let your mom answer this question. This question is for your mom. This question is for your mom. Now give me one example of gun, which is attribute or quality, and one modification of it.
Parya.
So, like for example, if the color is a quality, and then the color changes maybe from dark blue to maybe lighter blue, give me one example. Like
Oh, I can, well, example, maybe a fruit. Like when I bought a raw mango, the goodness, it's a sourness throughout, sourness and a bit of sweetness of a raw mango.
Take only one,
And then-
sourness. Yeah, sourness.
Sourness.
And then sourness changes to sweetness.
In Parya. So, and then eventually it changed to like from a greener raw mango to a bit of yellowish as it ripens the fruit.
Well done, well done. So now you have given two gun. One you said was color, which was from green to yellow. That is
Yes.
the color. That is a color gun. And then
Color.
and then you mentioned of the taste gun. The taste gun was maybe one day it was sour. After 10
Yes.
minutes it became sweet. So you
Yes.
mentioned about two qualities of the mango.
Yeah, but there's also the third one, which is, when you think about the gun, which is a hardness. How hard is the mango when
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
and then it becomes softer as it ripens? So that's another gun, another
Yeah,
quality.
exactly. There is another gun of the texture. Maybe texture can be labeled as gun. Maybe one day it was hard, and then I mean, as it ripens, it becomes softer. So like that, in each and every substance, there are infinite gun attributes or qualities or virtues. You can even use the word virtues. So
Yeah.
this is
Do you
yeah.
wanna-
So
Okay,
fine.
tell her. Tell her.
I think this is a bit complex to understand. We will not go any further today. But you just study from question 1 to 4 and try to think on it. Try to think of things around you where you see gun and the modification of it, which is pariyai.
Actually, I find it so easy, this topic. Dravya gun pariyai.
Yeah,
It's
good.
super easy. Do
Good.
you want to give an example?
I have an example
What do you want to do? You've been raising your hand non-stop.
of the skin.
Okay, tell her. Say, excuse me.
First, when you're young, your skin is like my skin. And then when you get older, your skin changes.
You are
Yes.
so smart. You are so smart. So that gun is of touch. That gun is of touch. What we learn in school, the 5 senses. We have got 5 senses, right?
Yeah. And I have another one.
You have another one?
Yeah.
I don't know if she wants to know. Ask her. Say, would you like to know?
Yes, I would like to know.
Okay, sit down, honey.
When you're
Sit down.
little, your voice is higher pitched. When you get older, it starts getting lower.
Deeper.
Well done. So that modification is of the sound. That modification is of the sound. So like sound is a quality, and then it keeps on changing. Okay, so now we had learned one story last week. Let's just try to remember it. Do you like remember the story of Kunkun Acharya?
Do you remember the story? Something at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me recite it, and then I will ask you questions at the end of it to see how
Okay.
much you remember of the story. So you can just mute yourself, and we don't need this page anymore. But if you wish to keep it on the screen, it's fine. Okay, so now let's talk about Kunkunacharya. Who was Kunkunacharya? He was a saint of the fifth era. We are living in the fifth era right now. And in the fourth era, there were 24 Tirthankars. There have always been 24 Tirthankars. Will there ever be 25 Tirthankars? No, there will never be 25 Tirthankars. Will there ever be 23 Tirthankars? No, there will never be 23 Tirthankars. Will a Tirthankar ever be a lady? No, the Tirthankar will never be a lady. There will always be 24 men. So there are 24 Tirthankars in the fourth era. And in the fifth era, we don't have Tirthankars anymore, but we still have Arihants. No, we don't have Arihants in the fifth era. We have Acharyas, Upadhyay, and Sadhu, what we learned in the first class today. So we have Arihant Bhagwan only in the fifth era. We have Arihant Bhagwan only in the fifth era, which eventually becomes Siddh Bhagwan. So in the fifth era, we do not have any Arihant Bhagwan and we do not have any Siddh Bhagwan. But in the fifth era, we have the remaining three Parmeshti. We have Acharya, we have Upadhyay, and we have Sadhu. Okay, fine. So let's talk about Kunkunacharya. So Kunkunacharya, in his previous life, he was a shepherd boy. He used to take cows for grazing into the jungle. One day he saw kings, queens, like lots of rich people wearing nice fancy clothes going to listen to a saint. He wondered, why are all these people going over there? So also he joined them. And this saint started to say that Tame to Bhagwan Atma cho. Tame to Bhagwan Atma cho. Tame aaj nashwar sharir nathi. You are an infinite soul who is going to live for infinite time, but this body will be destroyed immediately. So you are an infinite soul. So this shepherd boy thought, oh my God, I am just a shepherd boy. I am not educated. I do not know anything. I cannot read. How am I a God? How am I a God? Because Atma becomes Paramatma. So he started to think about this when he went home. Then he got a fever, so he was not able to go to the jungle for about 2 weeks. Then after 2 weeks, when he went to the jungle, he saw that the whole jungle was burnt. There was a fire in the jungle, apart from one tree which was green and it was not burnt. And in the bark of the tree, there was a hole. In the hole, there were important pages, papers written by the monk. Now this paper is not like our paper. Our paper is so simple to write on. It is not hard. It is very simple. Easily we can write with a pen or a pencil. But back in the day, the paper which the monks used to use was very hard paper. It was called tarpatra. And with a lot of difficulty, they used to write on this paper using something like a thorn. Something like a thorn, because also they did not have ink in the jungle. So he started to use this thorn-like structure and he started to write many good things on the paper. So this shepherd boy could not understand anything what was written on it. He decided to take it home. He took it home and kept it very safely and very neatly because he thought that whenever I meet somebody important, I can always share this important pages with them. And after a few days, he met another monk. He thought, let me give all these pages to this monk. And when he gave these pages, this monk blessed him. He said that you are going to be one of the greatest acharyas of this fifth era. And your name will be Kundakund in your next birth. And as destiny had its call, After a few days, this shepherd boy died. He was born in a city called Kondukund to a very wealthy family. They had lots of nice things to eat, lots of nice clothes, many jewelry and everything nice, everything beautiful. This boy was very intelligent, even as a baby. When his mother used to put him to sleep, she used to sing this lullaby, Shuddhoham, Buddhoham, meaning Shuddhoham that you are a pure soul, Buddhoham means that you have got infinite knowledge in you because you are a soul, you are not a body. So this baby used to love this song as like a small infant. This baby started to grow up. He started to grow up and he became a boy. He was so knowledgeable that his mother had to stay awake the whole night to ensure that she could read more information to teach him in the morning. Because whatever she used to teach him, he used to understand so quickly. And at the age of 11, there was an Acharya who came to their city called Jinsen Acharya. This boy, Kund, at birth he was called Padma. So Padma was so influenced by him, he was so happy to meet him that he thought, oh, I want to be like this great Acharya. I want to experience my soul. I want to attain supreme happiness. I always want to be happy. I always want to be happy. Then he asked for like permission from his parents and he took Diksha. He took Diksha, meaning that he left his house, his friends, his toys, everything, all his food, everything he left. And he became a monk, he became a Digambar monk. Digambar means that he doesn't wear anything on the body. No clothes, no ornaments, no hair on the head. There is nothing. He is just a plain body who has one commander, which is like a pot of water, and one sort of a broom, which is called pichi, which is made out of peacock leaves. So that whenever he sits somewhere, he can brush the area nicely to ensure that there are no living beings over there who can be hurt. And then he sits there and then he meditates. So that is the reason why he has that small sort of a broom called Pichi, which he keeps with him. This boy started to grow up. He attained Samyak Darshan, meaning he experienced the soul. And then at the age of 44, because remember, monks do not move alone. They all move in groups. The whole group say collectively that we want Kund to be our leader. We want Kund to be our leader. And at the age of 44, he became an Acharya. At the age of 44, he became an Acharya. So at the age of 11, he took Diksha. At the age of 44, he became an Acharya. And then after that, he went to Videhi Kshetra to meet Simandar Bhagwan because he had some questions for him. He went up to Simandar Bhagwan only because he had some special powers to travel. We cannot go there by aeroplane or by any other special gadget. We cannot go there. But because Kund had special powers, how did he get special powers? He did a lot of meditation. He did a lot of penance. He gave a lot of time for his soul. He was never bothered about external things. He had no greed for external things, and so special powers developed within him. And he could travel to meet Simandar Bhagwan. He met Simandar Bhagwan and he asked Simandar Bhagwan some questions that he had doubts. He stayed there for 8 days. When he went to meet Simandar Bhagwan, he was this tiny because in Videhi Kshetra, all the men were very tall, very tall. And so they named him Elachari because Elachari, in your kitchen, you might have seen Elchi. In your kitchen, you might have seen Elchi, which is, or like Jiru, which is this small. Jiru is so small, or like Elchi is so small. Because his body was so small, he was named after Elchi, Elachari Acharya. So he stayed there for 8 days, then he came back to earth. He came back to Bharat Kshetra. And then he started to write famous books. The first famous book that he wrote was Pravachan-sar. Pravachan-sar is the first famous book that he wrote. Then he wrote 4 other books. He wrote Niyam-sar, Samaisar, Ashtapahur, and Panchastika. He wrote other four books, and that is the reason why he became so famous. It's not that books were not there before him, but in his books, he had written everything about the soul, how to experience the soul, what is the soul like, what are the qualities of the soul, how can one understand the soul, how can people like us, maybe who do not have so much knowledge, how can we understand the soul so easily? He gave all the information in the book. And this famous book is called Samai Sar. Samai means soul, Sar means essence. The essence of the soul is called Samai Sar. Samai means soul, the essence of the soul is called Samai Sar. And that is why Samai Sar Shastra is so famous. Of course, the other Shastras are also famous. But Samai Sar became more famous because it was talking in depth about the soul. Is that making sense? And then after the age of 90, then he passed away and he went to heaven. And after that, he will soon attain Arihant Dasha once he becomes a human, and then also he will become Siddh Bhagwan. So this is the story of Acharya. I think we can finish today's class by simply asking you questions. What is it that you liked about Acharya's life? We will start.
What do you like?
Yeah, we will start
About-
with Alicia.
Me?
Yeah.
Next is Vishal.
Me, like, besides just at this point, because I'm still so immature about our religion, I feel the fact that he thought about soul, and he overheard Acharya in the forest that we can become God, like our soul is as equal. So to me that is wonderful. I mean, books are great, but I'm not at that level yet. So to me is the fact that my soul and the God's soul is same. I can be God if I go deep within myself. So that is very motivating.
Yes. Good. So next is Vishal.
So for me, it was that even being reborn, he didn't lose that focus. For him, that strength and knowledge was what drove him to educate others, and that is the characteristics I really respect and I really love about Acharya is he went and traveled to another kshetra to learn something that he could bring back. It wasn't for him or his own self. He had questions and he could have kept it, but because he was so, as an acharya, he wanted to disperse knowledge to everybody. That's the part that I really, really love about him.
Well done. Now let's go to the girls one by one.
Ready? What do you like about
No, her. She.
Briella? No, Briella. What do you? I have all these points here. So think about what do you think you like about Kun Acharya? We know how he passed away, and then he saved those documents on his previous birth. Remember? And then he was reborn. And then, so in his story, what do you think you like about him?
Everything.
Good.
One particular thing? No?
Okay, Piana.
No? Everything?
Piana, what did you like?
What do you like about him? It could be anything. What do you like? I mean, what do you think? Him becoming a monk, or he saved the documents? That's actually a good point. Do you think about him saving the documents? The important documents? Because how do you think?
That he reached the level of infinite happiness.
Oh, he reached that level?
Wow.
Like, okay.
You are the smartest of the lot. Well done. because he attained infinite happiness. Well, infinite happiness is actually when you become arihant. But well done, because you are
Awesome.
sitting on like the right track. Great. So you have 10 questions for your homework, which are very, very simple. And we will meet next Saturday. Can we recite one more time? Namokar mantra. Let's have it on the screen.
It's Namokar, okay?
Yeah, so that we can see it properly and without anything wrong. Let's have it on the screen.
No, but I have to hold the screen, remember?
You better come too.
Well, I'm here. She can see me. I have a giant body. Stop. So it's Namokar, okay?
Namokar.
Mantra.
Mantra.
Namokar, not Navkar. Namokar.
Namokar.
Let's have it on the screen and then we can finish.
Mam, Padmam Hoi. Remember that was the word? And there's one more word we made a mistake. No, that's a logo. That's a different prayer. But there was one more thing. I think we made a mistake. Okay, Namo here. Join your hands.
Okay, let's start.
Namo Arihantanam. Namo Siddhanam. Namo Ayariyanam. Namo Uvajjayanam. Namo Loe Sabbasahunam. Eso Panchanamo Yaro. Sava Pavapanasano. Mangladancha Savvesim. Padmam Hoi Mangalam.
Good. Very good. Okay, so now let's meet on next Saturday. And you have very little homework, so I'm sure you'll finish it in 10 minutes. Good. So let's meet. Yeah, let's meet next Saturday. Have a nice week. Have a nice week.
Do you understand everything?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye.
So much.
Bye.
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 Jai Chandra, bye. Thank you.
Bye, Daddy.
Okay, bye. Let's